I hate inconsistency. To my defense, it has been a very crazy 2 months for me. In my last video, I had talked about depression, and guess who got hit with the biggest wave of depression after that video? I'm doing a whole lot better now, just in case you are wondering. It's just been very, very hard for me to find the inspiration to do any sort of drawing or anything really creative, and I'm surprised I even got it today. Shout out to Justyce for giving me that sort of inspiration today. Love you. Today we're going full balls to the wall, no fucking script, because last time I did it, I sounded robotic as fucking hell. Today I'm gonna talk about motivation and why I have almost zero of it anymore. When I was a wee lad, anything used to inspire me. A fucking pine cone on the floor, someone fucking, that's it, fucking. No, but literally anything would inspire me. I drew inspiration from everything around me and pretty much anything that I could visualize in my head. Once I had enough talent to be able to put what I visualized on paper, that was pretty much it. I was always drawing. The world around me. What? Around me? Yep. The world around me was just so full of color and so many possibilities. Even the most of mundane things could be turned into a story of romance and heroism. My life up until the beginning year of high school was just so boring, but I was still able to draw inspiration from my favorite shows. In my imaginary world, I could be whoever I wanted to. And as sad as it sounds, I could create who I wanted in my real life. I was never really a popular girl at school, and the people that did know me didn't have the best image of me. And now that I think about it, I've always really kept to myself. I felt a sort of comfort in the worlds that I had created for myself, not really paying attention to the real world. Because, and not to be edgy, whenever I did pay attention to the real world, I usually got hurt. Once I started getting attention from guys and girls alike, I started to ease away from art and storytelling. And here we get into the meat and potatoes of this story. Since I started getting the recognition that I truly deserved, I started paying attention to the real world more, and as I started doing that, my fantasy world started to crumble. Since everything that I had been writing down that I wanted to happen was truly happening in real life, I didn't see the need for it, and this was such a big fuck up because, as you know, the real world is not a fucking fantasy world. I will fully well admit right now that throughout the entirety of my life, I was waiting for a Prince Charming to come and sweep me off my feet like the princess I thought I was. My view of the world was just so skewed because I thought everything was gonna be perfect, and I wanted everything to be perfect. My first serious relationship was about 2 years, and it ended so fucking badly, but that's a video for another time. He was very unsupportive of my passions, and after a certain point in time, drawing was my only escape, and by that point, I didn't even know what to put down on the paper. The entire foundation that I had built my entire passion of art on was crumbled. Although completely unrealistic, my idea of a perfect world was gone. Once him and I broke up, I really took a good while to evaluate and try to understand where I had gone wrong. This is when I got really, really deep into philosophy. But with philosophy comes a lot of existential crisis. Why are we here? What were we put on the earth to do? That is a very loaded question, but in short, we weren't put on this earth to do anything. There is not one specific thing that we as humans or even as individuals were specifically put on this earth to do. For those of you with half a brain, you know what I'm getting at. I am nihilistic. But also at the same time, There being no specific meaning in life means that we get to line up our own meanings in our own ways. None of us are confined to one specific stereotype that we have to live out through the rest of our lives. That's fucking boring. So that also makes me an optimistic nihilist. With that being said, I have no fucking clue what my purpose is. And you know what? Over the past 2 months, I've made my peace with this. My motivation at first was creating the perfect world where everything lined up for me exactly how I wanted it to. I never took into account that it was other people's worlds too. It was not just mine. I've learned a lot from people, and I've also learned enough to ground myself. I have a very good understanding of how the world works. Do I have an understanding of how I fit into this world? Not exactly. Is that gonna stop me from doing what the fuck I love? Absolutely not. I was forcing myself to have the same inspiration as 12-year-old me did, but that's just simply not possible. I've learned a lot and I've changed a lot from that point, and from now on I will stop forcing myself to pretend like I am the same person that I was back then. Motivation doesn't just happen. It's a lot of back and forth, but honestly, you are never gonna get anywhere if you don't force yourself to push a little bit harder than you did yesterday. It's tricky, it's painful, and most of all, it's gonna be inconsistent. Eventually, I will find the thing that motivates me the most, and I will always want to be my best, but for right now, I'm just trying to survive, bro. Just want to say thank you for watching this video, and after this, I'm not sticking to a specific upload, but thank you. If you made it this far into the video, tell me how I did on my art. I tried a new technique for coloring, and I think it came out pretty good.